So, it is our great fortune that we are sitting and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. And these glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are not only discussed amongst devotees, but then the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam are discussed by the Lord Himself in many Puranas. So one shloka just today only I saw, very nice shloka. So this is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Krishna himself is speaking the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam to Lord Brahma. So this is in Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda 7.10. Very nice shloka. So it says, ये अर्चयन्ति सदा गेहे शास्त्रं भागवतं नराः प्रीणीतास्तिश्च विबुधा यावद् अभूत सम्प्लवम्. So he says, ये अर्चयन्ति सदा गेहे शास्त्रं भागवतं नराः. Those personalities who worship and read every day at home. What happens? Pranita astaischa vibudha, that the demigods will be satisfied. And he says, Yavad abhuta samplavam. They will be satisfied with such a person who worships Srimad Bhagavatam and reads Srimad Bhagavatam at home till the universal annihilation. They will be satisfied. So, annihilation means till the point he is there in this material world. Till that point, the demigods will be satisfied. And then pralaya happens, then they also go, and then everybody goes. So, Krishna is talking that if somebody is worshipping and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, then the demigods become very pleased with him. Like that. So demigods are pleased with those who are doing Bhakti Vaibhav nicely. So we are continuing our fourth canto, and we are continuing this 22nd, 23rd and 24th chapter. So Pruthu Maharaj meeting with 4 Kumaras, that is 22nd. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Somebody can just see that they don't do parallel class there. So these 3 chapters are there, not very big chapters. So we'll be seeing this So the second 22nd chapter, that is a reception of four Kumaras by Prithu Maharaj, asking questions, and then the Sanat Kumara giving answer, and then the glories of Prithu Maharaj. So that is almost 63 verses are there. And 23rd chapter, which is Prithu Maharaj going back home, back to Godhead. So they have 39 slokas. Short chapter is there. So there, the departure of Prithu Maharaj and departure of Archi, that is described. And 24th is the Rudra Git. Lord Shiva teaching this Rudra Git to Prachetas. So these three chapters we have to cover. Third chapter, which is 24th, that is having 79 slokas. So like that. So almost 181 slokas are there for 3 days. Huh? 5 days, sorry. 3 chapters in... huh? Okay. So, this... And much of the, specifically the first chapter, that is 22nd, which we are covering, the answers are very powerful, given by the four Kumaras. There will give a good amount of time. And then second chapter is the departure of Prithu Maharaj. And then the third, that is 24th chapter, is Rudra Git. So that also is very nice. So what we will do is that because very short section is there this time, we will go through proper Bhagavatam purports, purport by purport. We have enough time for that. So like that. Okay. So this chapter, Prithu Maharaj is meeting with four Kumaras and the conversation. So here two important things are there, which is the discussion between Prithu Maharaj and these four Kumaras, question answer. So Prithu Maharaj asks similar questions as any devotee meeting some great personality, and the answers given are of different levels. That then that is one portion, and then the first portion, that first 6 slokas, they describe about the extraordinary guest reception done by Prithu Maharaj when he is meeting four Kumaras. So that we will be seeing now. So the first 6 slokas, that is an exemplary reception of Prithu Maharaj. So we will go through this first 6 slokas. Okay. You all are having Bhagavatam, na? Your Bhagavatam has many petals. Okay. ठीक है. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. So we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 22nd. Pruthu Maharaja's meeting with the four Kumaras. So the first text number 1. Maitreya Uvacha Janeshu Pragruna. Okay. What we'll do is we'll chant together so that we save the time. Maitreya Uvacha Janeshu Pragrunatsvevam Pruthum Pruthula Vikramam Tatropajagmurmunayash Chatvaraha Suryavarchasaha. Somebody read the translation.
The great sage Maitreya said, while the citizens were thus praying to the most powerful King Prithu, the four Kumaras, who were as bright as the sun, arrived on the spot.
Yeah. So the citizens were praying to the King Prithu, and then all the citizens were sitting, all the courtiers were sitting, Prithu Maharaj was sitting. That time the four Kumaras appeared. And we see this four Kumaras' appearance was already foretold by the Lord himself when he met Prithu Maharaj. That very soon four Kumaras will visit you. Text 2. Tanstu Siddheshwaran Raja Vyomno Vatar Torchita Lokana Papan Kurvanan Sanugo Chastalakshitan.
Seeing the glowing effulgence of the four Kumaras, the masters of all mystic power, the king and his associates could recognize them as they descended from the sky.
Yeah. So, read the purport.
The four Kumaras are described herein as Siddheshwaran, which means master of all mystic power. One who has attained perfection in yoga practice immediately becomes master of the 8 mystic perfections: to become smaller than the smallest, to become lighter than the lightest, to become bigger than the biggest, to achieve anything one desires, to control everything, etc. These four Kumaras, as Siddheshwaras, had achieved all the yogic perfectional achievements, and as such they could travel in outer space without machines. While they were coming to Maharaj Prithu from other planets, they did not come by airplane, but personally. In other words, these four Kumaras were also spacemen who could travel in space without machine. The residents of the planet known as Siddhilok can travel in outer space from one planet to another without vehicles. However, the special power of the Kumaras mentioned herewith is that whatever place they went to would immediately become sinless. During the reign of Maharaj Prithu, everyone on the surface of this globe was sinless, and therefore the Kumaras decided to see the king. Ordinarily, they do not go to any planet which is sinful.
Yeah. So, the word here used is Siddheshwaran. Siddheshwaran is the master of all mystic powers. Yesterday only we were discussing that two words are there. One is Yogeshwara and Yogishwara. So Yogeshwara is used specifically for, and Yogishwar. So Yogishwar word is used for Lord Shiva, and Yogeshwar is used specifically for Krishna. What is the difference between Yogishwar and Yogeshwar?
Ishwar of yogis and he is Ishwar of all the mystic perfections.
Yeah. So similarly here the word used is Siddheshwara. Siddheshwara is the master of all mystic power. So many times this word is used for devotees like Kumaras, and the Siddheshwara word is used for Lord Shiva also, many places. So here we find that when the four Kumaras they appeared, they had mystic potencies by which they could travel, by which they could transcend the laws of this world. And we can see that although the personalities like these four Kumaras, they are not in kind of desirous of showing these mystic powers, but by their activities itself, these mystic powers are visible. For example, when Prabhupada also went to America, he didn't show any miracle per se, but then whatever he did was miracle only, which will be glorified for last so many thousands of years. So, one devotee was telling that the year which Prabhupada went, 1965, was the coldest year of the many years. 3-4 decades, never such cold was there as much as that was there on 1965. And then Prabhupada had no warm clothes. He has to walk sometimes 1 feet snow, he has to just go through. And one of our devotee friend was telling that in such atmosphere, even if you go even for 10 seconds, you catch cold unless you are not fully covered. So you can imagine how Prabhupada would have lived there without much facilities. So like that. So he had no heating arrangements, he had no warm clothes, he had no, and he was going around meeting so many people. So we see that all these great personalities, they exhibit very high class, they are above natural laws. So here this Siddheshwara is used for 4 Kumaras. Text 3. Yeah. Generally, when the devotees they travel, they show their mercy when they feel that okay, here the mercy is needed. Then they don't see whether sinful or sinless. But normally devotees also, for example, uh, devotees also will like to spend their time where they are more surrounded by devotees, devotional atmosphere is there. So both desires are there always. Like for example, Prabhupada desired that I'll be very happy to leave my body on the battlefield. That's what he said. And then he said also that now I want to leave my body in Vrindavan. So both desires are perfect. So similarly, devotees want to go to sinless places because that enhances their remembrance of Krishna, their activities. So they want to go. And then devotees also want to go to sinful places also, where their service is enhanced. So both things are there. Yeah. Lord and his devotees are bound by each other. It's like, although the Lord is considered the Swarat, but then Narad Muni has foretold the two sons of Nalkuver Manigriv that Lord will come and deliver you. So while giving this curse, he did not apparently consult with the Lord. He just gave on the spot. So it's like that. And then the Lord, understanding that Narad Muni gave this curse, so I have a responsibility to fulfill that curse. And that. So like that. So Lord is bound by the words of devotees, and devotees are also bound by the Lord's words. So it's like that. Okay. Text 3. तद्दर्शनोद्गतान् प्राणान् प्रत्यादित्सूरिवोत्थितः सदसत्स्यानुगो वैन्यम् इन्द्रियेषो गुणानिव.
Seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious to receive them. Therefore, king, with all his officers, very hastily got up, as anxiously as a conditioned soul whose senses are immediately attracted by the modes of material nature.
Yeah. Purport.
In Bhagavad Gita 3.27 it is said, Prakate kriyamanani gune karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimoodatma kartaham iti manyate. Every conditioned soul is influenced by a particular mixture of modes of material nature. As such, the conditioned soul is attracted by certain types of activities which he is forced to perform because he is completely under the influence of material nature. Here, Prithu Maharaj is compared to such a conditioned soul, not because he was conditioned soul, but because he was so anxious to receive Kumaras that it was if without them he would have lost his life. The conditioned soul is attracted by the objects of sense gratification. His eyes are attracted to see beautiful things. His ears are attracted to hear nice music. His nose is attracted to enjoy the aroma of nice flower. And his tongue is attracted to taste nice food. Similarly, all his other senses, his hand, legs, belly, genital, mind, etc., are so susceptible to attraction of objects of enjoyment that he cannot restrain them himself. Prithu Maharaj in the same way could not restrain himself from receiving four Kumaras, who were bright by dint of their spiritual progress, and thus not only he himself, but also his officers and associates all received the four Kumaras. It is said, birds of the feather flock together.
So here we see that these words are used. Taddarshana udgatan pranan. That it was, he says that anxious to receive them, and very, very hastily they got up. How hastily and anxiously? As if a conditioned soul is anxious to do sense gratification. To that degree, Parikshit Maharaj was anxious to receive great souls like four Kumaras. So this comparison is given so that we can understand it, because we have some experience. And we can see that this is one quality of Prithu Maharaj and all the devotees, that they are very anxious. What is the meaning of anxious? As here Prabhupada writes, that he was so anxious to receive the Kumaras that it was as if without them he would have lost his life. So for devotees, life is association of other great souls. And when that is there, he feels elevated, excited, nourished, like that. And when that is not there, then he feels as if life has gone. So that is the sign of a devotee. And that's how, so here we can see that there is a difference between ritualistic performance of Krishna consciousness and the core, genuine practice of Krishna consciousness. That it is there that we are supposed to offer respect and welcome great souls. So here it was not ritualistic. We can see that he was very anxious. Suddenly, when they saw four Kumaras, they got up and then they rushed towards these four Kumaras. So that shows that Prithu Maharaj gave great importance and to such kind of meetings. We can see that the ritual was happening every day in the King Indra's palace also, of respecting spiritual master. Every day Brahaspati used to come, and then king and other people, they used to get up, give a garland, give a seat, and that was happening. But then it was too much a ritual every day. So one day King Indra, when he was nicely enjoying the dance of Apsaras, he thought that, and it's like every day I am doing it. So then he missed that ritual one day. So this is what happens when we are performing ritualistic Krishna consciousness. Missing is very easy because that is not done genuinely. Then we fail to follow that for long period of time. Either we give it up or we give up in between sometimes. So here we see that Maharaj Prithu was not having this ritualistic reception for the souls like four Kumaras, but then he was very anxious, very genuinely he was feeling happy to receive these guests. Because when we are talking about aparadh, then there are 6 aparadhas. Which one? Yeah. So when we are not feeling joy by seeing a Vaishnava, that also is considered aparadha. So we can see that very easy to commit this offense because of being very ritualistic like that. Okay. Okay, go ahead. It is said. Purport.
It is said, birds of feather flock together. Birds of a feather, same feather hoga na?
Yeah.
Birds of a same feather flock together. In this world, everyone is attracted by the person of same category. A drunkard is attracted to person who are also drunkards. Similarly, a saintly person is attracted by other saintly persons. Prithu Maharaj was in the topmost position of spiritual advancement, and as such, he was attracted by Kumaras who were of the same category. It is said, therefore, the man is known by his company.
So here he says that in this world everyone is attracted by a person of the same category. So we see that this attraction can be natural, or this attraction has to be we trained ourselves to be attracted by saintly personalities. So both things are there. So one is naturally someone is attracted to saintly people, and if you are not, we are supposed to train ourselves so that we are attracted to saintly personalities. We have seen also that in this world, peop- the, the way Prabhupada writes that birds of the same feather flock together. Even in after joining Brahmachari ashram also, I have seen that wherever our heart is there, that type of people we associate with. I still remember when I joined one brahmachari, very nice, he joined, but he will spend half of the day with drivers. He will be sitting with them only, chit chatting, and so many times we used to tell him that, Arey, it's like, you are a brahmachari, why you are sitting there? But then that's how he was, and he couldn't survive long in brahmachari ashram. So we see that birds of the same feather flock together. That either we are naturally attracted to devotional activities, or if we are sincere, we understand that I reduce the inclinations, the attractions which are against my own Krishna consciousness, and then divert them to actual attractions. So both things make our spiritual life very progressive. So even in association, we have to be very choosy whom we are associating with. Whether we are associating with those who are enhancing our Krishna consciousness, or they are decreasing our Krishna consciousness. Yeah, text 4. गौरवाद्यन्त्रितः सभ्यः प्रश्रयानन्तकन्धरः विधिवत् पूजयां चक्रे गृहीताध्यर्हणासनान्.
When the great sages accepted their reception according to the instructions of the Shastras and finally took their seats offered by the king, influenced by the glories of the sages, immediately bowed down. Thus he worshipped the four Kumaras.
Yeah, so here now the procedure of reception is given, that according to the instruction of Shastras, and the king bowed down to them, worshipped four Kumaras by offering them respect, water,
Seat.
the sitting place, kind words, like that. So that's how the word vidhivat comes. So we should worship these personalities vidhivat. Vidhivat means not that sometimes they say that yes, I have a lot of respect in the heart, but that doesn't work, because this vidhivat also has to be proper. It is not sufficient that you have respect in the heart, but it has to be processed externally according to the scriptures, like that. For example, like we call each other as Prabhu. So we should by default should call each other as Prabhu. Not that we become very casual, friendly, so called, and then miss out to respect. And then we start calling by the name only, and then like that. So I still remember one devotee was given this name Kansari Prabhu, like that. So ultimately, first they started calling him Kansari Prabhu, Kansari Prabhu. बाद में it become Kamsa Prabhu only. बाद में they used to call Kansa only. Kansa, come here, Kansa. So we should stick to Vidhivat. Otherwise it becomes like a yeah.
Out of love. Vishnu. So Vidhivat is like Vishnu Tattva Prabhu, but they call Vishnu, and that is the out of love they called. And I also feel good, happy. So Bhaji, then Vidhivat is not there. So how we understand?
Yeah. So if seniors are dealing with us with love, then that is their higher vidhi. We should be bound by vidhi. Like that. So it's like that. So driver is Prabhu because he is driving everybody. If he is not taken care, then others are affected. Of course, we respect them. There is no loss in giving extra respect. Like that. Okay. Okay. So then, whoever is the manager has to make sure that they are taken on ground. They are dealt nicely by the manager to bring them on the ground. या जाके देखो ना, नहीं तो मैं आ जाऊँगा वहाँ पे और प्रभु जी बोलेंगे हाँ ठीक है मैं 10 मिनट बाद आता हूँ. प्रभु जी जैसे ही एग्री करते हैं, हाँ तो मैं हाँ हाँ yeah. No, when we are talking about devotees, we are talking about brahmacharis specifically, those who are equals. Others we deal with them the way they are. We cannot deal with drivers and workers like the way we deal with brahmacharis. That is not possible. They have to be dealt properly. Text 5. Tatpadashauchasalilam marjitalakabandhanah tatra sheelavattam vrittam acharam manayanniva. Yes.
After this, the king took the water which had washed the lotus feet of the Kumaras and sprinkled it over his hair. By such respectful action, the king, as an exemplary personality, showed how to receive the spiritually advanced personality.
Yeah. So, in the purport, Prabhupada writes that how Prithu Maharaj, he himself was a pure devotee, and now he is receiving another pure devotee. But then, while receiving another pure devotee, he behaves as if he is a conditioned soul, to give an understanding to us how we should receive Girit soul. So, he is bowing down, he is maintaining a stature as if he is a conditioned soul, asking questions like that. So that is, as purport Prabhupada writes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said, Apani Achari Prabhu Jivera Sikhaye. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught in his life as Acharya. He himself practiced. So Prithu Maharaj was practicing himself. So this Apani Achari Prabhu Jiver Sikhaye applies to everybody, specifically those who are preaching, whether it's youth preaching or congregation preaching. Because specifically when we go to choices or teaching to them, we have seen that the way the children are very receptive. You have seen that? Small children, 5-year-old, they exactly see how father talks on phone, how he, and then they copy exact. Or they see some movie or something like that. What we don't, that impression doesn't go, 10 times more impression goes in their thing. The kind of sounds, songs, and things they see. So, in childhood, more things are caught automatically than when you teach them. So, similarly, the boys whom we are preaching will see more and learn than what you take Vaishnava etiquette class and things like that. So they also want to see how you behave with your equals, how you, when some call of some senior devotee comes, how you receive that call, how you talk to them, how enthusiastic you are when the festival is there. In Guru Puja, how you nicely dance, how prayerful you are in Mangalarti, how you are sitting in Bhagavatam class. So they see that and then they learn. And then whatever classes you give, that is like a some small percent they catch. So here we see that whatever we do, that is very easily going in their system. They are very sponge-like to observe and take it to the heart, like that. So here Prithu Maharaj was ideal king and a leader. He was showing by his own example how to receive advanced, spiritually advanced personality, like that. Text 6. हाटकासन आसीनान स्वधिष्ण्ये श्विवपावकान श्रद्धया संयम संयुक्तः प्रीतः प्राह भवाग्रजान.
Translation. The four great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on an altar. Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows.
Yeah. So these two words, Shraddha Sanyam Sanyuktaha, that with respect and with restraint, they he received these four Kumaras. Because these four Kumaras, they were elder to Lord Shiva, and their appearance was very bright. Now they are seated on the golden throne given by the king. So here Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows. So like Vidhivat, or the restraint, so that we are dealing with the great souls. Restraint is from not behaving casually. That is what the restraint is. Yeah. So Prabhupada writes in the purport how they were born from Lord Brahma, and before, like they were born, Brahma wanted them to create progeny, but then they denied, and after that the Lord Shiva was born. So in the end, Prabhupada writes that the mode of anger is consequently known as Rudra. Lord Shiva also has a Sampradaya party known as Rudra Sampradaya, and they also known as Vaishnavas, and the Kumaras also they have. The starting from there is a Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. Okay. So here similar type of situation is there when in Dwaraka at the house of Vasudev, Narad Muni enters. This comes in 11th canto, chapter 2. And when the Narad Muni enters, very nice slokas are there, which talks about आ गए क्या? Okay. So we'll take 5 minutes break. Okay. So those who are having Gayatri, they can do Gayatri, and those who wants to relax for 5 minutes, they can relax. So now it is 12:11. 5 minutes, we'll be back.